Was Kalani who showed me where to dive for this.
Yeah? Say, that'll be something to tell Captain Sam when you see her tomorrow. She loves them adventure stories, you know. You'll love her. Everybody else does. She's a great lady, you know.
Why, you stupid, sneaky scud. What have I told you about drinking on duty? I told you the next time it happened, I'd scuttle you. I warned you.
No. Captain Sam, you know I'm the only man on the river that can keep this old tub a-running.
Belay that talk or I'll knock 7 bells out of you. I can't scuttle you now because I got a cargo to deliver. But I'll not have you in my engine room awash to the teeth with whiskey.
No, Captain Sam.
So I'm going to sober you up.
Wait a minute now. Now, please, Captain, wait a minute now, please. I can't swim, Captain Sam. You know I can't swim now.
Get up, you hulking hooligan. You can't drown in 4 feet of water.
That's her, all right. Is she a dandy?
Ahoy there, Captain. You looking for an able-bodied seaman?
Johnny! Johnny! Well, you treat all your captains this way?
Just this one.
Johnny, let me look at you. You're a sight to behold. What you doing so far inland? How long have you dropped anchor for?
My ship sailing from San Francisco, bound for the South Seas and the China coast. We came just to see you.
We?
Taking my bride to sea with me, just like your grandfather did.
Your bride?
Her name's Mary Ann. Her father skippers a clipper ship out of New Bedford. She's standing right over there with Charlie Wooster. Hoping you'll approve of her.
Oh, Charlie. You old landlubber, how are you?
Fine and dandy, Captain. Mary Ann, ain't she pretty?
Pretty as the figure on the prow of a sailing ship. Welcome to the Sea Witch, Mary Ann. Well, come aboard. We'll celebrate. We'll have a toast
We will,
to Johnny
we
and
will,
his
we
Mary
will.
Ann.
Come on, folks.
She's not only the best cook within 100 miles, but the best-looking one to boot. How do you stay so young?
A noggin of rum a day keeps the doctor away. That's what my grandfather used to say. A remarkable man, my grandfather, and a great storyteller, too.
It was.
Speaking of stories, Johnny, spin us a yarn. Tell us about your voyage.
Not much to tell, really.
Oh, come now. I never knew a sailor who didn't have a story to tell.
Why don't you tell us about the time you were shipwrecked? Bill tells us about this little native girl that'll taught you how to...
To sing native songs.
Is that all?
That's all.
Well, I'll be doggone. Captain Sam ever write you about the time she fought her way upstream with the river in full flood, taking medicine and doctor them people stranded up there?
No.
Or about the time she evacuated all them women and children from a settlement surrounded by a whole Sioux nation, shooting fire arrows at the Sea Witch on both sides of the bank?
I'm not much on writing, Charlie.
Well, that's a shame. If you could write them stories you tell, you'd make a fortune, I'm sure, ma'am.
No. I'm a ferryboat captain. That's all I'll ever be, Charlie. You know, Chris, you and I are in the same business, ferrying people across the country. Of course, yours is a longer run, but still back and forth, back and forth.
Well, but every trip we make, it's different.
So is the river, Chris, and the seas. Always changing, always challenging. Isn't that right, Johnny?
I bet you'd like to go back to sea again, wouldn't you, Captain Sam? Like all the rest of your folks.
Oh, yes, Charlie. Once it's in your blood, you never get it out.
I know just what you mean.
You ever been to sea, Charlie?
Charlie's most always at sea about something or other.
Were you ever aboard the first Sea Witch, Captain Sam?
No, Charlie, but the way my grandfather told the tale, you could almost picture yourself aboard her. On a stormy sea with the wind blowing half a gale and the seas breaking aboard with green water flooding the decks. Or homeward bound and racing a rival to port for the pleasure of the profit in it. There was one race they never forgot. That was the one with the albatross. There'd been some skullduggery between her skipper and the port officials that delayed the sailing time for the Sea Witch and gave the albatross a good head start. So it was all hands into the rigging, and the boatswain shouting the orders to hang out the wash. It was crowd on the canvas and every eye on the lookout for the albatross. Sail ho! It was my grandmother who sighted it first. And it wasn't long before they sighted the Sea Witch and crowded on more sail. Oh, that was a race to remember. They talked about it in every New England port for years. How it was nip and tuck because the ships were a match. On the helm that made the difference. He put the helm hard over and took her alongside, cutting the breeze on the windward side and eating the wind right out of their sails to take the lead. And with every man jack in the crew turning green with the motion of it.
Charlie's turning green just hearing about it.
You're not seasick, Charlie, an old salt like you?
Oh, not at all, not at all.
Good, because I was thinking we might take a cruise upriver.
Excuse me. I think I better get a layer. Excuse me.
My cooking's never been for delicate stomachs.
You'd better see the doctor about that cough, Samantha.
Just hold on an even keel, mate. The doc knows all about it. It's just a cold that's been hanging on for weeks, that's all.
Well, whatever it is, I think you've had enough excitement for tonight. A fine dinner, Samantha. Tomorrow night, why don't you all join us at the wagon train? Charlie should be able to do some cooking by then.
Well, don't be so quick to hoist sail, mate. The evening's yet young. I'm about to break open a round of grog. That ought to pep Charlie up and cure my cough to boot. Have one for the gangway.
Last time Charlie had one for the gangway, he missed it and fell in the river, remember? Night.
We'll stay aboard until you're ready to pull out, Mr. Hale.
She looks feverish to me. If she gets any worse, I'd get a doctor no matter what she says.
Yes, sir.
We're not going, are we, Miss Chris? I'm just getting my sea legs.
Afraid Captain Sam's sick.
Captain Sam sick? Nothing serious, I hope.
I don't like the sound of her call or the look of her. I don't like it at all.
Hot grog. Glad to be aboard, Captain.
Glad to have you back aboard, mate. Even if it's only for a little while.
Hey, I almost forgot. I brought you something.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Hold it up to your ear.
Well, you can hear it. You can really hear it. The sound of the sea.
It'll help you sleep.
Ah, so will this. That's quite a girl, that girl of yours.
So are you.
Like old times, isn't it? We had some good times, too.
There'll be more, I promise you that. How long has this cough been hanging on?
Oh, well, don't make such heavy weather of it, mate. Everybody gets a cold down then. I'm all right, really I am.
No, you're not all right. You're sick. I still think I ought to fetch a doctor.
I don't need a doctor. What I need is a song of the sea. Sing me a song, Johnny boy. Oh, please, Johnny.
Fare thee well to you, my Mary Ann. Fare thee well, my own true love. For my ship is waiting and the tide runs high. And I am bound for the open sea, away from you, Mary Ann.
Are you singing to her, to me?
Captain Sam, I bring from across the sea. From each port I chance to be, I will bring to you treasures by the score, but in my heart I will treasure more my very own Captain Sam.
Here, let me do that.
Oh, stop treating me like an invalid. I'm fit as a fiddle.
It's not what Dr. Heller said.
So that's where you've been all morning, talking to that blundering dunderhead behind my back. But if you believe any of the bills that he hands out, you need your head examined. There's nothing wrong with me.
But a change of scenery wouldn't cure.
Did I ask your opinion?
No, but you're going to get it just the same. Now, come on, let's go aboard and talk this over.
Belay that talk. I'm getting too old and set in my ways. If I thought the three of you were trying to put me into dry dock, I'd...
Dry dock? Whatever gave you an idea like that?
He did. He's got some idea I ought to pull out of here and live where it's dry and hot.
Well, he must have changed his mind. Because he agrees with me that what you need is a nice long sea voyage.
What?
Fresh salt air, a lot of rest, and a look at new places. It'll do you all the good in the world. So I told him you're coming along with us.
With you? Oh, now hold it. A mother-in-law is no one to take on a honeymoon voyage.
Listen, Ma. A long time ago, I made a promise that we'd go to sea together, remember? Well, I'm going to keep that promise. You're going to feel the heave of the decks under your feet, smell the good salt spray, see the coral reefs and the blue lagoons.
The isles beneath the wind.
So you start packing your gear, Captain, because we're shipping out tomorrow.
Oh, now, shorten your sail. I can't heave anchor that fast. What would I do about the Sea Witch?
I've already heard of a buyer for the Sea Witch. I'm off to talk to him right now. So you start packing because I'm taking you along. Even if I have to Shanghai you.
Johnny, why?
Look, the doctor told her that she might die if she didn't get off this damp riverfront, and she blew up a storm. She said that nobody could beach her, make her live like a landlubber. Here, I gotta find a buyer for the Sea Witch.
guess there is such a thing as prayers being answered after all.
Time to go ashore, Skipper.
You sure you got everything?
Aye, aye, Captain.
The bell, Charlie. Happened to the bell.
Oh, it's there in the chest with all the other stuff.
Gear, Charlie.
That's right, Charlie. Gotta call things by their proper names.
Well, guess we're about ready to shove off.
Think so. Come on. Let's take another look around just to make sure nothing's left behind.
Hey, Captain, how about this?
I thought that went with the last load.
Ma, you'll never have any use for that.
Oh, you never can tell, mate. You never can tell.
Besides, there's no room for it.
Well, I'll find room in Mr. Chris's wagon if you want to take it along.
Oh, thank you, Charlie. You know, that diving suit belonged to my grandfather. Did I ever tell you about my grandfather diving for treasure?
Oh.
Well, it was like this, Charlie. I had this place, you see, then, and two men, they were going to...
Mr. Wooster! Charlie! I brought you a fresh baked berry.
What happened?
In there. There it is now!
Never mind. I'll take care of everything.
It's only me, Mr. Chris. Oh!
If you'd come upon a sight like that,
I'd have known what it was.
I'm quite aware of that.
How was your first day as a landlubber, Samantha?
Well, it was tolerable, Chris. Charlie let me take a turn at the helm. Slow haul, though. How many knots does a contraption like this do, anyway?
Oh, we make anywhere from 10 to 15 miles a day.
A day? A ship will do 10 knots an hour.
Except when it's becalmed, huh?
And another thing, that scout of yours has taken you off course.
Cool. He's pretty good, dead reckoning.
Well, he's dead wrong. According to my calculations, he's got you so far off course, you're liable to end up in Mexico.
Now we're on this tack to take us to the pass through the mountains, and we'll take another tack to take us to the ford across the river, and still another to carry us to the water on the desert. You know, navigating this wagon train's not too different from sailing a ship.
Ah! I prefer the fresh sea breeze to this dry dust anytime.
There are many advantages to being a landlubber. I, for one, much prefer this method of travel.
Well, it doesn't look like you've got much choice. There's no port in that lonesome corner of Arizona that you're bound for.
Many years went by, and I searched low, and I searched high. I found a man that's just like Pop. Now the search can stop. Ah, get you a man with whiskers. Whiskered men are best. There's cause for pride if their whiskers hide the gravy on their vest. Look at a man with whiskers. He never is depressed. Never sad if his clothes are bad. His face is so well dressed.
Want to see me, Samantha?
She does. Captain Sam's got something to tell you. It's very important, too.
I just want to tell you, if I was you, I'd circle around and camp here.
At noon?
You'll have time to batten the hatches and secure the canvas before the storm hits.
Very good idea, too.
Storm?
The bottom fell out of her glass.
Or what?
My barometer. It says we're in for some dirty weather.
Oh, well, maybe your barometer's wrong.
It hasn't been wrong in 30 years.
Well, there's always a first time. Maybe it got shaken up with a wagon or something. Excuse me?
Mr. Chris, I got a feeling in my bones.
You got a feeling in your bones, and she's got a broken barometer. And I'd get laughed off this train if I circled the wagons and started giving those orders with the sky looking like that.
Sure come up sudden like, didn't it?
Now, don't say it, Charlie.
Don't say what.
I told you so.
I don't have to. You just said it. Now maybe some of the folks will listen to Captain Sam when she gives out good advice.
Well,
You need any help?
No, thanks.
That knot is never going to hold in this wind. You better let me show
I
you.
may be a school teacher and not a sailor, madam, but I assure you I can tie a knot tighter than any woman can.
Johnny, get over there and help the widow. Go on, don't drag your ankle, boy. We'll manage over here.
never saw anything like it. Kelsey Top was the first to go. There she was, bellowing orders like she was on a quarterdeck. Salty's all get out.
Yeah, we should have known you were in trouble when the whole town turned out to cheer her when she left. I've had more complaints about her than the weather.
It's a shame, too, on account if they'd listened to her in the first place, none of this would have happened.
Yeah, being right never made no female all-fired popular. Especially if you're the kind of big-headed man who won't take advice. Present company excluded.
I'm glad you said that, mate, on account of just last week Captain Sam said you should take up semaphore.
I ought to what?
Waving them little flags so you can send us messages. You wouldn't have to be coming back to camp all the time. Save your horse, too. And another thing, you could stay out there where you could watch the Indians.
There ain't no Indians around here, Charlie.
They're a scurvy-looking lot. Take a squint, Charlie.
Yeah. Almost like being right there, ain't it? Safer, too.
Wonder what they want.
Rifles for hunting.
Well, tell them we'll give the matter some thought. So we'll pull out early while it's still dark. Leave your fires burning. That might throw them off. I'll post some extra guards just in case. Well, you might as well turn in, folks. Get what rest you can.
How much longer will it take?
4 or 5 days, Samantha.
4 or 5? Why, that means Johnny will miss his ship.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry. I've waited all my life for this voyage, and I'm not about to let the scurvy scalawags cheat me out of it.
We have no other choice. If we pay the toll, if we give them the rifles, they'll use them for hunting, all right. They'll use them to hunt us or others like us.
You've got one choice. Fight 'em.
Samantha, it's my duty to see that these people get to California safely. There's no telling how many I might lose if we tried to cross here.
So we run. And what happens if they control the other crossing? Then what?
We'll face that when we get to it.
If you want my opinion, you'll fight 'em here and now.
Well, I don't want your opinion, Samantha. I'm sorry. But on a wagon train, just like aboard a ship, there's only one person can be in command. I'm sorry, believe me, but that's the only thing I can do.
There's got to be a way. There's just got to. Now's your chance. Scuttle 'em! Landlubbers, look at them run!
It worked just like she said it would. Yes, sir, just like a charm. So anytime you get in any trouble, you just call on Captain Sam and me. Everything was hunky-dory.
Changes the whole picture, doesn't it? Now that your crackpot scheme worked, everything's hunky-dory. But if it hadn't, it'd have been 2 scalps and a beard hanging from some warrior's lance right now.
Thought I was going to be a hero.
Well, you were a hero in my book, Charlie. I'm going to tell this story along with all the tales about my grandfather.
You are, really?
Yeah, but I'm not very proud of my part in it.
Well, it was all your idea.
A very selfish idea, Charlie. I never thought about what might happen to you. I only thought about us getting to port in time to sail.
Don't you worry, Captain Sam. You're going to get there in plenty of time. Ain't you, Johnny?
Johnny, have you spoken to Mr. Hale yet? But tonight's the last night and you haven't said a word to him. Order her. You can't just pack her up and send her off with the Kelseys.
Will you please leave it alone? Will you please just leave it alone and let me do it my way?
Charlie, look. 3 points off the starboard bow. Water. It's water.
Yeah, it's an optical illusion. We call that a mirage. You don't get any closer any farther away. It just kind of follows along with it.
A fake.
No. And there's a boat in this one, too.
Oh, they'd say I tell wild tales.
This is the truth. And it happened not too far from here, either. Seems these 2 fellas were on their way out to the La Paz gold strike. They're dragging this boat with them. The mules gave out, so they left the boat behind. I've seen it. Of course, I've seen whole oceans out on dry land, too.
Is this a wild yarn or the start of a joke?
It's the honest truth, so help me. There's this whole sea right out in the middle of the desert down in California. If you don't believe me, you ask Mr. Chris. Anyway, I talked to this archaeologist about it.
A what?
That's a man who looks for art. He told me he'd been searching for years for this Spanish galleon. It was sunk, full of treasure, too.
Speaking of treasure, Charlie, did I ever tell you about the time my grandfather had a running battle with a pirate ship full of treasure?
No.
Well, it happened like this. Grandpa had signed on to take a Spanish galleon through pirate-infested waters, and everyone warned him that his ship was no match for blackjacks. When the feared skull and the crossbones were first sighted, Grandpa remained calm, refused to put on more sail. The pirates, thinking they had an easy victim, moved in close. Instead of retreating, he gave the order to attack. Fire! His concentration of firepower so took him by surprise, it wasn't long before he dispatched the whole pack and parcel of them. Grandpa sailed on.
He must have been quite a man.
He was, Charlie, quite a man.
Is waiting and the tide runs high. and I am bound for the open sea, away from you, Mary Ann.
Beautiful country you'll be living in, Ben. It's a lot like the sea, full of endless distances and singing silences.
Fit for nothing but snakes and tarantulas. Why in the name of John Paul Jones would anybody want to live out here anyway?
They need school teachers. I understand the mountain country is quite different.
Beautiful. You've only seen a small corner of it, Samantha.
That's enough for me.
Many people love the land like you love the sea. The good earth, they call it.
Well, so far, all I've seen is sand, not fit for growing things. I don't know why they call it the good earth. Everybody knows it's 7/8 water.
There's an old saying I remember. Praise the sea, but stay ashore.
Probably said by some lollygagging landlubber that had never been to sea.
Maybe you'd better reserve your opinion until you've taken a sea voyage yourself.
The life aboard ship mightn't be all you've imagined from listening to the stories and the siren songs of the sea.
Oh, yes, it will. It would be all I imagined, and more. Speaking of songs, sing us a chanty, Johnny, huh?
Blow ye winds in the morning, blow ye winds high-ho. Clear away your running gear and blow the winds high-ho. It's now we're out to sea, my boys, the wind comes on to blow. One half the watch is sick on deck, the other half below.
Well, whose side are you on, anyway? Did I ever tell you about the time my grandfather held the helm of the Sea Witch for 36 hours straight with the southeaster blowing the insides out of the hole?
As a matter of fact, you did. When'll that trader friend of yours meet us, Mr. Hale?
Well, Davy should be here any time.
Ma?
I found it. I found the boat Charlie was telling me about. Or what's left of it. Rotting away out here in the middle of nowhere. Why'd they do it? Why'd they have to drag it out here? Why couldn't they leave it where it belonged? Boats and ships. They're like me, Johnny. Take them away from the water, they dry up and die.
No, not you. Human spirit is stronger than that. You'd survive, make a new life for yourself.
A new life. And that's what you've given me.
Ma.
Let me say it. You know, all of my life I've had a dream. And it was always out of reach. Like one of those crazy mirage things. And now every day the dream is coming closer because of you, Johnny. How do you say it? How do you say when your heart is bursting with pride and love and gratitude?
Ma, please.
You're embarrassed. Well, it's getting late. I want to go tell Charlie about this. You want to come along?
Ma. I love you.
Mary Ann said you wanted to talk to me, Johnny.
Yes, sir, I do. It's about... well, it's about Ma.
Eight bells and all's well. Time to change the watch.
Got you talking like a sailor, huh?
You always said it was good to learn different kinds of languages, Chris. Besides, this ship talk's kind of interesting.
Well, you better save it till you're aboard a ship.
We're aboard a ship right now. That's what Captain Sam says, right, Charlie?
Right, Coop. And you ought to know better than anybody else, Mr. Chris. We're all on schooners. Prairie schooners, that is.
Well, you can forget the ship talk and the sea stories. The voyage is over. For Samantha, anyway. Good captain's leaving us tomorrow morning.
Captain Sam? Well, she didn't say she was leaving.
She doesn't know it.
Well, how come, Chris? What's it all about?
Well, it's a long story, Coop. But what it comes down to is that the doctor told Johnny he'd have to get her away from the damp riverfront, get her into a dry climate, or she'd die.
All this time she's been planning on that sea voyage with Johnny. Poor Captain Sam. She's had her heart set on a sail all night ship. And now, Willie should have never waited this long to tell her.
A new life, I said. Coming closer every day to the dream, I said. And all because of you, Johnny. All because of you.
Tried to tell you. I've tried so many times.
Sure. And I trusted you. The both of you. Who could I trust if I couldn't trust my own son? And all the time, the two of you in cahoots with the doc.
She had no part in it. She was against it from the start. It was my idea. It was the only way I knew.
The only way you knew. To lie? To make me all those promises you didn't intend to keep? Oh, the places we'd go. Oh, the things we were going to do. And all the time you intended to cast me adrift out here. And I said I was proud of you. But you're a liar. You're a cheat and a liar.
That's enough. I won't have you say that about Johnny.
Why not? It's the truth.
He had to lie because you wouldn't listen to reason. Because you've never in your whole life taken orders or advice. You've been too busy giving them. Yes, he lied to you because he couldn't leave you there to die. Because he loves you and wants you to live.
Well, you're right about one thing. I'd never have left the Sea Witch if it hadn't been for the lies. But you're wrong if you think I'm going to drop anchor here and dry up like the bones of that old boat. I'm going to make the lie the truth.
Why, you can't.
I'm going to take that voyage. I may die, but it won't be with a whine, it won't be with a whimper. Most people don't get to choose the way of their dying. But I've set my course a good many years, and I'll stick to the course the rest of the way. My mind's made up, Chris. I'm going to California, even if I have to ride a horse.
Oh, you wouldn't have to do a thing like that, would you, Mr. Chris?
Now, when you get there, then what?
I'm going aboard that sailing ship, just the way I planned, just the way he promised me.
At the cost of your life?
It's my life.
You signed on for the whole trip, Samantha. You can't jump ship now.
I'm not. I'm going on.
Now, that's not what I mean, and you know it. You have a sizable chunk of years left, and an obligation to live them, not throw them away. Don't do this to yourself, Samantha, or to Johnny.
Who gave him the right to interfere in my life?
You did, when you took on a foundling and shaped him into the image you wanted him to be. The family tradition. You sent him to sea.
He wanted to go to sea.
Because of you, to please you.
He loves the sea.
Because of you. And he'll end up hating it because of you. If you keep him to this promise and he sees you die because of it, he'll bear a sense of guilt for the rest of his life.
So I'm supposed to stay here to make it easier for Johnny. After he tricked me into selling the Sea Witch, lied to me?
So that you might live.
You call this living? In this dry, dreary desert?
Samantha, there's as much adventure and excitement out there as those gallant old grandparents of yours ever experienced on the high seas. Are you going to face up to it? Or are you going to strike your colors and run for it?
She wouldn't do a thing like that. Why, nobody in the history of her old family ever struck the colors. You remember that time your grandfather...
My grandfather never went to sea in his whole life. Nobody in my family ever went to sea.
You mean all them stories you told us about your grandfather? They weren't true? None of them?
Yarns, Charlie. Fanciful yarns of a whiskey-loving dreamer who yearned for the adventure of the high sea. Was tied to the shore with family responsibilities he couldn't cut loose from. The only sea he ever sailed was the Eighth Sea.
Eighth Sea?
A sea of imagination. where the heroes are larger than life, performing daring deeds with no danger at all because it's just a dream. He used to say that dreams were what little children are made of and grown-up people live for. He never came close to any of his, but I have come close. So close. That's why I'm trying to hang on to it. To make one dream a reality. Long before you and me, there was sea, lonely sea. Widows wait by the sea. Lonely sea, frighteningly wild, shallow or deep as a grave. Someone waits on the shore of the
Ahoy there, Captain Sam. Captain, I got a great idea. I'm going to buy you and me a ship. You can be the captain. We'll sail wherever we want.
She's staying here, Charlie. And we're staying with her.
No, Johnny.
This time you're taking the orders, Skipper. I'm not going to watch you die. And I'm not going to spend the rest of my life remembering that I went off and left you alone. The one time you really needed me.
Johnny, the sea is in your blood and in your heart. And if you give it up, one day, one awful day, you'll find yourself wanting to be free. And you're going to hate the thing that stands between you and it.
No.
I've seen it happen. I didn't raise you to be a dirt farmer or a store clerk. I raised you to be a saltwater sailor. And either you heave to and stay on the course, or I'm going to take Charlie up on his offer. My sea bag's in the wagon, mate. Will you get it for me?
Sure, Skipper.
I'll get the dime suit, Captain.
No, Charlie, I won't be needing it. You might use it for prospecting on the Sacramento River. The man I bought it from had that in mind. And here, I want you to have this to pipe all hands to meals. And give this to Coop. It might come in handy when he's scouting. And give the compass to Bill. It'll help him to know where he is. I've not been too sure of that.
Right.
And the barometer is for Chris. It'll help him to know when a storm's going to hit.
But, Captain, you shouldn't give all these nice things away.
No, Charlie. When your anchor's stuck fast and holding firm, it's best to cut it free.
All set, Samantha?
All set, Chris. Well, so long, mate.
Captain.
Smooth sailing.
You too, Captain.
Well, I'm certainly glad you changed your mind, Samantha. You know, people who spend their lives chasing after dreams miss out on a lot of living.
Captain Sam, you forgot this.
Oh, no. I didn't forget it, Charlie. It's my wedding present for Johnny and Mary Ann. You see, he's going to take her to sea, like my grandfather sailed on the first Sea Witch with his bride. This is for you, Mary Ann. This is the first ship that Johnny ever had. He almost lost it in the river and got the spanking of his life.
I'll take good care of it.
And of him. Well, mate, it looks like this is the end of the voyage.
There'll be others.
Sure.
Davy, this is Samantha Stewart, better known as Captain Sam. Samantha, this is Davy Jones.
Well, Captain, I never expected to meet you. Leastwise, not on dry land.
Welcome to Arizona, Samantha. I'm sure you're going to like it here. I'm sure you're going to like it just fine.
Thank you.
Hours, huh? This can't be a saloon.
Sure it is, Charlie. Can't you hear the music?
So shame to disturb him.
Bartender?
We won't keep you up long, but we'd like a drink.
Is this place always this lively?
Stand all this excitement.
Wagon train will seem pretty racy after this, huh?
They'd be stranded in a place like this.
Well, let us know when you've had enough, Charlie.
Any time now.
Well, let's don't overdo it.
Well, on to the ride back, huh?
No! Absolutely no!
Come back here.
Let me go! Let me go! Let go of me!
That voice.
Everything is already settled between us.
I know that woman's voice.
If I can't have you, at least I'm going to have it my way about the money.
It isn't fair.
But that's Chottsie Gubenheimer.
What's he, who?
God, you're going to take this money.
No, Jim, please, don't do this, please.
I tell you that, so help me, you're going to get what's coming to you now.
I don't deserve this.
Wait a minute, who are you?
Push somebody around, try me.
Now, wait a minute, mister.
Bullying a helpless woman, stealing her money.
I was just trying to get...
Get out of here.
You heard the man.
You bother Chottsie once more, I'll break your neck.
Chottsie,
John, will you tell him?
you better do what the man says.
Well, you give me my hat.
Chottsie Gubenheimer. Well, certainly you remember me.
Of course I remember you.
Chris Hale?
Chris Hale. Chris Hale.
You do remember me.
How could I forget you? Chris Hale.
I was the one looking for fun and excitement, and Mr. Chris got it. Come on, let's have a drink.
Charlotte Gubenheimer, this is Bill Hawks, Charlie Wooster.
Pleased to meet you, man.
How do you do?
It's a pleasure, Miss Goop.
Oh, just call me Chottsie.
Chottsie.
Well, I've certainly thought a lot about you, Chottsie.
And I have thought a lot about you.
We certainly have a lot of catching up to do, don't we?
Oh, we certainly have. But I really should go to my room for a few moments. I live only across the street at a hotel. If you don't mind waiting when I come back, then I hear everything about you.
All right, fine.
Excuse me.
Oh, just a minute. Almost forgot your money.
Oh, but Chris... Thank you, Chris. I won't be long.
I'll walk you to the hotel.
All right.
Know you anywhere, Chottsie.
Oh, and you haven't changed either. It's only that with all the excitement, I really couldn't think clearly.
That tin horn not going to be waiting for you, is he?
Oh, no. I don't expect to have any more trouble with him. Thanks to you.
Chris, Charlie and I are going to head back to the train.
Yeah, you won't need us at your reunion.
Let's have a drink.
Great. Yeah, boy.
Looks like business is picking up.
Yeah. Like we left them.
Bartender, give me a bottle. Chottsie,
Gubenheimer, is it?
Gubenheimer.
She's a pretty lady, Mr. Chris.
Old friend yours?
She came from my town. Her father had a barber shop there. All the customers were very partial to Chottsie.
You too, Mr. Chris, huh?
Yes, it was a time when I thought very seriously about marrying her.
What made you change your mind?
Well, her parents sent her away to New York. They thought we were too serious, too young.
Well, sometimes things happen that way.
Chottsie Gubenheimer has a very special place in my life. I've often wondered what would have happened if she hadn't been sent away and I had married her.
Nobody knows that, Mr. Chris.
That's right, who knows? I see her in a place like this being pushed around by an overdressed tin horn gambler, and I can't help but realize that I'm partially to blame.
How can you be to blame, Chris?
Never send to know for whom the bell tolls. Tolls for thee.
What?
Bells. I should have been man enough to walk up to her father and say, Mr. Gubenheimer, you are not going to send her away. We are not too serious, and we are not too young.
Well, nothing you can do now.
She seems happy enough.
I don't believe it. A woman of her background can never be happy in a place like this.
She acts like she's happy.
Charlie, I think that you and I better get back to the train.
Yes, sir.
Leave the wagon. Little Chottsie Gubenheimer being pawed over by a slick-haired, bullying, tin-horn gambler.
Ow, you're hurting me, Char.
Oh, I'm sorry. He really did a lot of damage in a short time.
You
You told me there was only one other man. Where'd this one come from?
I don't know. I'm trying to Christopher. Oh, my mother hated him. She was afraid. My father used to cut his hair.
Well, did all your father's customers feel so protected?
Oh, he was special. Oh, he would fight anybody he thought meant me harm. I guess he still would. Well, this may hurt as much, but looks a little nicer. Christopher. Jim, come here. Give me your hand. Here is your money.
Oh, Sharp, please keep
now,
it.
do you want to start another scuffle? You
No,
have
but-
already given me too much.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have any at all if it wasn't for you. Till you came along and brought me luck, Shara. I was always beat before the shuffle.
That's only because you didn't have enough confidence in yourself.
Well, now I'm so lucky everybody thinks a cheat. Sometimes even try to lose for a change.
I'm glad for you.
But it doesn't mean anything unless I'm winning for you.
Jim, we are no longer dealing in this place, and there is no longer anything between us. As a matter of fact, it isn't even safe for me to stay in reproach. You know he's still trying to find me. Any day now he will come riding in. You know what will happen to any man he finds me with. He will kill him.
I'm not afraid. I'll protect you, Shar.
Well, you have taken enough punishment today. Now, hurry up. I have to get dressed.
You're going to see Hale.
Yes. Hale. Oh, he was so wonderful. You know, I could have married him once. But I had a chance to go to New York, and so I took it. I never stopped to think I might be wrecking his life.
Well, he seemed to have survived.
No, but he had such a sad look in his eyes. And when I talked to him, I felt that he was trying to reach out for something.
He was reaching out for me. Finding me. Where's my hat?
Oh, here. And tell Elsa to come up and help me get dressed. Had you given me up?
Oh,
My Chris.
Chottsie, you're beautiful.
Oh, you're being gallant.
I'm being truthful.
Your friends have left?
Yeah, they went back to the wagon train.
Then you are just passing through.
Well, I'm a wagon master. I spend all my time just passing through.
Aha! You are a professional wanderer, and you were the one who said that you would never leave Middle Falls. Sit down, darling.
I guess I did say that, didn't I?
Oh, we often say things when we are little that we do not mean. Where do you make your home, Chris?
Wherever the wagon train stops.
But are you not married?
Yes, I was, very happily.
Oh, my darling. I'm sorry.
Let's talk about you.
What shall I say? I have had my share of laughter and of tears, but I made up my mind one thing. No more tears. That makes wrinkles.
How did you end up here?
In reproach? I came to reproach with Jim. That is the man you met. The man who met you.
You deserve more than this, Chottsie.
But I'm not complaining.
Well, you should. You should expect more out of life. You let people, men, take advantage of the fact that you have a generous heart. Now, I know.
Oh, nobody takes advantage of me, Chris, darling. If I am generous, that's because I want to be.
Well, I can see what your life must be. And I know how it started.
But, darling, I have absolutely no regrets, none.
Well, that's good. They're a waste of time. We can't do anything about changing the past, but we can do something about the future.
What did you have in mind?
Chottsie, I want to take you away from here. I want to give you a chance to see another kind of life.
Oh, how sweet. How like you. You really mean that. You want to take me with you and protect me, keep me away from my past.
I want you to have a chance to be the kind of woman you can be.
What shall I see?
My wagon train leaves the first thing in the morning. Don't make me feel I found you too late, Chottsie.
Oh, darling, no. I'll go with you. I pack my bag in 1/2 hour, darling.
Hat.
Oh.
You got the letter?
Oh. Thank you for warning me.
Yeah, well, he'll be here in a day or two.
He knows I'm in reproach.
He's narrowed it down to 2 places, and he's checking the other one now.
Oh, why can't he forget me?
He says he won't give up till he finds you, and when he does... Well, you know him, Lottie.
I'm packing to leave now.
Good. Go as fast and as far as you can while you can.
I'm leaving on a wagon train for the West in the morning.
You need some money for your passage?
Oh, no. I have a personal invitation from the wagon master, and I have his promise to protect me from my past.
You mean you just rode off and left Chris alone?
Well, that's the way he wanted it.
Yeah, and seeing that woman after all these years really upset him.
But he might have been upset, but he looked like he was enjoying it.
Is she pretty?
Very pretty.
Yeah, and real smart, too, Barney. I just hope that he doesn't get taken because of old time's sake. Yeah, he's too generous sometimes.
Kind-hearted, too.
Yeah, but he's smart.
That's right, Barney. You're going to be awful smart when you outsmart Mr. Chris. Get up early in the morning, too.
Yeah, well, a man starts feeling guilty, that's when he drops his guard. Yeah, and that's when a female takes over.
Well, you mean you have to be on guard all the time, huh?
Don't pay any attention to these two, Barney.
Well, he might as well learn the bitter truth sometimes.
Mr. Chris must have dropped his guard. Look.
Oh.
Oh.
Boy, she is pretty.
What to tell you?
Well, give us a hand. Miss Gubenheimer, that's Coop Smith. Ma'am. Barnaby West.
Howdy, ma'am.
You know Bill and Charlie.
How do you do, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you take this?
Yes.
Thank you. Would you take that, please? Men have so much more sensible clothes than women. Am I all right?
Yes, ma'am. Just step down now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well, don't just stand there and gawk. Unload the wagon.
Come on, let's go.
Oh, Mr. Chris. Will the lady be staying for supper?
Of course. She's with the train.
Oh, good.
I never thought she'd go this far.
Yeah, it sure looks like Mr. Chris brought a wagon load of trouble, don't it?
You really think so?
She is pretty.
Yeah, and those pretty ones cause the most trouble.
Yeah, but if they're pretty enough, they're worth it.
Chris, you have so many wagons and so many people. I didn't know you had so much responsibility. And here I am adding to it. I promise you I won't be any trouble. You will scarcely know that I am here.
Oh, Mr. Hale, do you know, does Mr. Wooster have the blue thread I wanted?
Well, Mrs. Mortimer, you'll have to ask Charlie about that.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Oh, this is Miss Gubenheimer.
And this is Mrs. Wilson.
I'm so happy to meet you.
I found Chottsie, Miss Gubenheimer, in reproach. Persuaded her to come with me, with us.
Then you have family in reproach?
Oh, no, I'm not so lucky. I have no family.
Then I suppose you were working there?
Not exactly.
Excuse me, Mr. Chris. Where do you want the lady's luggage? I mean, whose wagon is she going to stay in?
Charlie.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Mortimer wants her thread.
Coming right up.
Put it in the supply wagon for the time being, Barney.
I wish there was some way we could help.
Oh, that's so kind of you.
The thread, Mrs. Mortimer.
Ladies.
Let me know if we could be of help, Miss Gubenheimer. This situation is going to bear watching.
Close watching.
Mrs. Mortimer, I've got your thread. Thank you.
Yes. Get that fixed.
Well, a few supplies in here, but I think you'll have plenty of room.
How convenient if I'm hungry.
No fancy chandeliers or embroidered wallpaper.
I didn't realize how simple life was going to be.
Luxuries and comforts come pretty high when you have to buy them with self-respect.
Chris, darling.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to keep reminding you of your past. We'll concentrate on the future and a better way of life. Eh?
And a place for my hat. You are getting dinner, Mr. Wooster?
That's right.
Is there something I can do to help?
Help?
Yes. Oh, you allow me? I won't be happy unless I can do my share. I understand I don't want to take your job away, but I would love to help if you would be so kind.
Well, that's very nice of you, Mrs. Gubenheimer, but say, come to think of it, I will need some flour.
Oh, flour. I saw that in my supply wagon. I get it for you.
Fine.
Here's the flour.
Thank you. Just put it there, please.
I do. You know, I feel so badly about inconveniencing you.
What do you mean?
Well, now that I am moved into that wagon, if you want to get something, I'll be in there and you can't get it.
That's right.
Is that also a supply wagon?
That's right.
Aha! I am going to move the things from my wagon to this wagon for your sake.
Now, wait a minute, Mrs. Guggenberg. I can't let you move all them heavy boxes and sacks just to make it easier for me. No.
Oh, now that I have the idea, I won't be happy until I do the job myself.
Now, wait a minute. Both of it. I can do it better than you.
Please, darling, I'm very...
Please, I will not have you. There you go.
Oh, there, you got it?
Last one. There.
There. Now, whenever you need supplies, you can easily get them.
And I certainly appreciate you being so thoughtful, helping me like this, Miss Guggenberger.
Oh, call me Chottsie, and I call you Charlie. Yes, darling?
Fine. Chottsie, she touched me.
Ow! Oh, you stick yourself.
Well, I'm not very good at this, ma'am, but it's a big tear on the cover of the shipment of army supplies. Mr. Chris wanted me to fix it before we had any more bad weather.
Let me try sewing it.
Oh, that's all right. You don't have to.
I would like to try to help you.
Oh.
Oh, those are nice big stitches. There.
It's pretty rough.
Just have to make big
Oh. You see...
I do it myself.
It isn't easy.
What we need is a thimble.
A what?
A thimble.
Oh, a thimble?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know where we can get one, though.
I have some in my trunk. I get one. It may take me a little while. I am not unpacked yet.
Oh, here, I'll help you.
Oh, no. I don't want to take you away from your work.
No, that's all right. You're not taking it away.
But what will Mr. Chris say?
You won't mind.
I suppose that thimble is on the very bottom. Oh. Oh, I have no place. Would you be so kind as to hold this for me, please?
Sure.
I have no place to put these things.
Well, you know, you need some furniture in here.
Yes, I do.
Hey, you know, there's a whole wagon load of furniture down the way.
There is?
Yeah, it's being shipped west. Suppose I borrow a few pieces for you.
Oh, if it wouldn't be too much trouble.
No, it's no trouble at all. I'll be right back.
Oh, thank you, darling. Oh, be careful of the step. I almost forgot the symbols. Here you are, Barnaby.
Oh, swell. I'll bring it right back.
No, I want you to keep that in appreciation.
Gee, thanks, Miss Gubenheimer.
Call me Chottsie. You are old enough.
Thanks, Chottsie.
Would you let me help you?
Well, it's no job for a woman.
Oh, but I want to do my share.
All right, take this bar, man, and just pull back as hard as you can, and then I'll start hammering. Aren't you ready?
Yeah. Oh.
You know,
Excuse me.
I appreciate your wanting to help me, but this could tip over and you might get hurt. I can manage myself.
Well, my intentions were good. When you finish with your hammer, would you leave it at my wagon? I have something I want to fix.
You betcha.
Thank you.
There you are, ma'am. Try that.
That's perfect. I never could have fixed it like that myself. I feel bad, though, for taking you away from what you were doing.
Well, it didn't take long to do this. Besides, you tried to help me and just returned the favors, all.
Thank you, Bill.
Miss Gubenheimer will see you at supper?
Of course. Bill, call me Chottsie.
Yes, ma'am.
Chris Hale.
Hi.
Just gonna fix your step.
Oh, thank you, Chris. But I've already taken care of that.
Yeah, so I see. Well, getting straightened around?
Would you like to see?
Yeah. Well.
You see?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a marvelous cook, Charlie.
Oh, nothing. Tell him things like that, he'll start believing it.
But it was delicious. I mean it.
I think you did outdo yourself a little tonight, Charlie.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chris.
Miss Chottsie inspired him.
No.
More coffee.
Yeah,
I'll get it for you.
Wait, I made it.
Boys! Sit down.
Sure is nice perfume you got on, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. I wear that because it reminds me of my favorite flower, the mountain primrose. Remember, Chris? I always keep one pressed in a book, but somehow in moving here, I lost it. What time do we start in the morning, Chris?
About 7.
Oh, good. I help you get breakfast, Charlie.
Oh, you won't need to do that, Miss Chottsie.
I like to.
By the way, what do you like for breakfast?
Oh, I would take anything you usually have. But, you know, once I was traveling, and I had the most marvelous thing. I had trout, fresh trout. Oh, and the flavor was wonderful.
Trout, huh?
Charlie, I guess you better start clearing up, eh?
Yes, sir.
Bill, Barney, check the night pickets.
Right away, Chris.
Yes, Mr. Chris.
I go to my wagon.
Yeah.
Excuse me, please?
Do you have everything you need to be comfortable, ma'am?
Oh, yes. Tonight I'll sleep even in those rough blankets. They will seem like eiderdown.
Eiderdown?
Yes, when I was a little girl, my dream of luxury was an eiderdown quilt. Good night.
Good night. Good night, Miss Chottsie.
This isn't going to work.
What isn't going to work?
Chottsie on the train. My bringing her here like that was a mistake.
How can you say that, Mr. Chris?
You done exactly right bringing her, Mr. Chris. Yes,
Chris, you couldn't leave a lady like her in the town of reproach.
I can see all kinds of complications ahead of me.
No, she's going to get along just fine on a train.
Sure, and she's one woman who really carries her share of the load.
Yeah, she's not going to be any trouble at all.
Charlie? Why isn't Charlie getting breakfast?
I saw him heading for the creek about a half hour ago, Chris.
The creek?
Take it easy, boy. Easy, boy. Oh, baby, I got him. Oh, baby. Easy now, boy. Not gonna wait for old Charlie. No, sirree. Oh, boy. I got you. Old Charlie's got you. Oh, boy. Okay, it's a dandy. No Charlie ever got away from old Charlie. No sirree, Bob. Ha, ha, ha. Don't try to get away from old Charlie.
What in thunder do you think you're doing, Charlie?
Catching trout, Mr. Chris. Yes, sir. And look what I found.
Well, looked like a gold nugget.
What do you think it's worth?
I don't know, $40, $50. You look around for any more?
Yeah, I looked all around. I guess it must be a fragment. I wouldn't have found this if I hadn't been catching some trout for Miss Chottsie.
You get through with your fishing and your prospecting, maybe we can have some breakfast.
Yes, sir. Come on, Herman.
What's holding us up, Mr. Chris?
Bill Hawks. There's his horse, but where in thunder is he? Well, go see if you can find him.
Yes, sir.
Bill!
Mrs. Mortimer, I'll give you $10 for it.
Well, I'm not that anxious to sell. I bought this eider-down just before we left. It belonged to old Lady Prentice, and when she died, they had an auction.
All right, we'll make it 12 then.
Mr. Hawks, what use does a man like you have for an eider-down quilt?
All right, 15.
Bill Hawks!
Look, this is all the money I've got.
Well, all right, since it seems so important to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bill!
Only cost me $3.
Bill Hawks! Bill! Bill Hawks! Bill! Where have you been?
Well, I was buying this eider-down.
For Chottsie. Well, a couple of hundred people wait for you to get this train rolled.
Well, look, Chris, there was almost $200 sold in the landing, so she gets her quilt, and I come out about $185 to good.
Yeah, well, you'll need it if you don't get on the job right now.
Yes, sir.
Right off.
Hello, Charles.
Pretty quick now.
Either of you seen Barney?
No, Mr. Chris.
Hasn't been with the train all day.
Maybe he rode up ahead with Coop.
Oh, Coop went out alone.
It's not like him to ride off without saying anything.
No.
Well, all of a sudden, I can't keep track of any of you.
We're here. Here.
Where you been all day?
Oh, up in the mountains.
In the mountains. Barney, you know that those mountains are sacred to Indians. You went up there by yourself? What have you got back? What were you doing up there?
I was getting this for Chottsie.
You rode all the way up there to get that?
Yeah, it's a mountain primrose, her favorite. But look, here, hold it.
Hey, that's a white fox.
Yeah, I saw while I was getting the flower.
Pelt's gonna bring you a lot of money. You better report to Chris Prono or you're about to lose your own hide.
All right.
And I'll take care of your horse.
Mr. Chris, that gambler fella from Reproach has come looking for you.
What do you want?
I didn't come here to fight.
Well, that's good.
I know you have some strange romantic hold over Shaw.
I got no hold on her. I'm only interested in her welfare.
We all are.
I want to see her have the respect that's due any decent woman.
But how you going to give her respect by taking her away from her husband? Husband? Me. Shaw and I have been married almost a year.
Chottsie? Married? Why didn't you tell me you were married?
I didn't think that was important.
Not important.
But we are no longer together. I'm going to have that made legal as soon as I can. But, Chris, I don't see why that should upset you.
Because I encouraged you to leave reproach and come with me because...
Because you wanted to give me another way of life.
Yes.
And now that I am married, you have changed your mind?
Chottsie, taking a woman away from a life of... Well, whatever kind of life I thought you were in is one thing. Taking a wife away from her husband is another.
But you are not taking me away from him, darling. We haven't been together for weeks. He doesn't need me anymore.
Well, he thinks he does. Then maybe if you gave him another chance...
Oh, no. It's no use. I can't be happy with a man if he doesn't need my help. Oh, darling, I hope that doesn't change things. I can still go with the train.
Well, it makes it a little awkward.
Oh, but I can't go back to reproach. It's not safe for me there. Oh, Chris, you are not the kind of man who would offer a woman a different way of life and then take it away from her, are you?
All right, Chottsie, you can stay with the train.
Oh, darling, I knew I could depend on you.
You want to see Brannon?
No, I think it's easier for me not to. If you would be so kind as to tell him I wish him good luck and happiness. Thank you, Chris. Do we leave early in the morning?
I hope so.
Good.
What are you doing, Charlie?
Oh, cooking supper.
Looks more to me like you're ironing a skirt.
Oh, Miss Chotsie's helping me. She's looking up one of her special recipes. While she's doing that, I'm doing this.
What in thunder is that?
What's a rack for her shoes? See?
Shoot.
Uh-huh.
What about that wagon brace?
Oh, Chotsie's drawn up a plan for me to follow, and she's so nice and helping all the time, I thought I'd fix some of her jewelry for her.
Well, if Chottsie gives us much more help, this train will come to a complete standstill.
Now, listen, Chandler. I didn't steal Shaw. She had your marriage legally dissolved, and she wasn't your wife when I married her.
As far as I'm concerned, she'll always belong to me. Now, where is she? Where is she?
She's heading west.
You're lying.
No.
Lying.
No. She went with a fellow named Chris Hale on the wagon train. Left about 2 days ago.
You better be telling me the truth. All right, son, let's go.
But, Daddy, if she's got a 2-day start on it...
2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. We're going after that wagon train, bring Lottie back where she belongs.
Mr. Hale,
Oh, hello, ladies. How are you?
we're distressed.
Indignant.
What seems to be the trouble?
The trouble, Mr. Hale, is that you have brought a home wrecker onto this wagon train.
Well, now, just a minute. If you're referring to Miss Gubenheimer.
Miss,
All right, Mrs. Brannon.
she left her own husband, now she's after ours.
Well, I can't get my Tim to turn a lazy hand for me, but he follows her around looking for ways to help her.
It's the same with my husband.
Well, is it fair to blame Chottsie?
And they all have the gall to say she's helping them.
Now, ladies, Chottsie means no harm. Ever since she was a little girl in her father's barber shop, she had a way about her. Well,
We're not interested in her past, Mr. Hale. We're telling you that you have an obligation as wagon master and as the man who brought her on this train. Either you do something about your friend or we will.
But I don't understand it, Chris. I only wanted to help.
I know, Chottsie. But why help married men? And why only men? Why not help a few women?
Women are always suspicious when I offer to help. Do you really think I have done anything wrong?
I'm just trying to tell you how these women feel, Chottsie.
But I want to know how you feel. Do you think I really did any harm? I offer to help. Sometimes I'm not entirely capable, and the men end up helping me. But that makes men feel good. They feel important. They feel sure of themselves, and then they are happy. And when men feel that way, they are easier to get along with. So why should the ladies object? In the end, I am helping them too.
Chottsie, I know you mean no harm. I know your intentions are good and kind and generous, and I wouldn't change them even if I could. But I can't change human nature either. And I can understand why a wife doesn't feel good when her husband's being made happy by another woman, no matter how good and innocent those intentions of the other woman might be.
Well, I will never understand women. But I don't want to make any trouble for you, Chris. I suppose it would be better if I were to leave the wagon train.
I think maybe, Chottsie. For everybody.
But I can't go back to reproach.
Who are you afraid of in reproach? It can't be Brannon.
Chandler Ames is his name. He was on his way there when we left. Oh, don't ask me about him, Chris. But he simply must not find me.
Well, I've got to go north in the morning to meet another small wagon train. I could take you to Ridge City.
Whatever you say, Chris.
I'm sorry it hasn't worked out, Chottsie. But Ridge City's a nice little boom town. Lots of men, very few women.
Oh, darling. I see you in the morning. Oh, thank you.
I wish you'd change your mind, Miss Chottsie.
Chottsie, why did you decide to go to Ridge City all at once?
Well, I heard about it from Chris. And it sounds like the kind of place where I could be happy.
You've been happy on the train, haven't you?
Oh, I certainly have.
We've been happy having it, too.
Well, I can't stay with the wagon train. And so it's better that I go now.
I don't think I can ever do my work without you.
It sure won't be easy.
Barney.
All set, Mr. Chris.
Oh, well, I'm all ready. I just have to get my luggage.
I'll get it. Wait a minute. I'll get it for you. Come on.
Well, Chris, I guess that is everything. That's him.
Who, the man who's after you?
Yeah. Oh, Chris.
Get in the wagon. Stay there.
Bloody! Bloody!
Come on.
I want to talk to Lottie.
She doesn't want to see you. Get out of my way. had enough. Get out. And from now on, you leave Chottsie alone.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, a big man like you bullying a woman.
I never bullied her. I've always been kind to her.
And why's she afraid of you?
You ask my son, he can tell you. No man was ever kinder to his wife than I was to Lottie.
His wife?
She lived in the mansion. She had servants to do her bidding, had everything she ever wanted, all that money could buy.
Are you trying to tell us that you and her was married?
That's right, for 3 glorious years. And then, well, then she left me.
Because you mistreated her, huh?
No, I loved her. And I'd do anything in the world if I could just get her back.
Could you cry for help?
What?
Mr. Ames, I feel an obligation to you and to Chottsie. Let's go get washed up. I think I have an idea. It's all right. You're safe from him. He won't trouble you anymore.
Thank you, Chris. Did you... was he badly hurt?
He'll live. I suppose you neglected to mention that you'd been married to him because it wasn't important.
Oh, that marriage was voided long ago.
You're lucky to be finished with a brute like that. I suppose he mistreated you terribly.
No, that wasn't it. Chandler could be very nice at times. As a matter of fact, of all my husbands, I think I cared most for him.
All your husbands? You mean before Ames and Brannon there were others?
Oh, yes, darling.
I should have known. Well, Ames would like just a word with you before he leaves.
Oh, Chris.
There won't be any trouble. Just a moment.
Lottie. Hello.
Hello, Chandler.
I wanted to tell you that I was sorry.
You have been very foolish, Chandler.
I know I've been wrong, but I've been desperate. I need you, Lottie. Ever since you left, well, things haven't been going too well for me. In fact, I've suffered some heavy losses.
You have?
Yes. I don't have the drive anymore. I feel like giving up.
Oh, but darling, a man like you can't give up, Chandler.
Yes, but I can't face the struggle anymore. I need your help, Lottie.
Oh, darling, I come back to you. All I ever wanted was a chance to help you. Darling. Goodbye, dear. Goodbye, Charlie. Goodbye. Goodbye, Chris. Thank you, darling.